In your view, is some of the things that we're experiencing in these reports, are they still happening in this country?
They absolutely are, Michelle. And, I share your despair that this is another day, another town, another report, and yet every single one says the same thing. Children being blamed, authorities failing. And in every single case, we get the chief constables and the senior officials coming out and saying these are in the past. Things have changed. And I quote from the assistant chief constable today, who said, again, sorry, but we're in a different place now. There are no excuses for the past. Give you assurances that we have made vast improvements by the way we tackle these crimes. Dedicated teams, specially trained officers. And what I would like to do is remind your listeners, your viewers, that yesterday, young Samantha, who is a survivor from Telford, came on GBNews and spoke of an incident last week where specially trained officers from Telford on those particular units turned up at her house and intimidated her and told her not to speak to the media about what she had experienced. That, to me, shows a complete lack of understanding, a reluctance to change, a determination to cover up what is going on and frighten victims not to speak out. And when you join that alongside the fact that in the Maggie Oliver Foundation today, we are dealing with 460 live cases of survivors of abuse and current victims of grooming gangs throughout the country, that will tell you that this is still a very real and current problem. And that is why it is so important to highlight them like you do. And we still have no senior officers having been held accountable. We have the same recommendations, which are just recommendations. They are not obliged to carry through these recommendations. And that is why we are stuck in Groundhog Day time and time again. And I am just sick of the same excuses and pretense that these are problems of the past when they are not.
So what one thing, Maggie, do you think needs to happen to try and get to grips with this in the here and now?
Communication and honesty. Speak and work with organisations like the Maggie Oliver Foundation. The police are stuck in the past. They are under-resourced, but they need to look at different ways of dealing with this kind of crime. We need to understand why these grooming gangs are still escaping prosecution on a monumental scale. We need to know why this is happening, and we need to challenge it face on openly and get to grips with why it is happening. And a great deal of the trust, the loss of trust of the victims and the public is because of apologies that actually bear no relevance and no honesty within them. Another day, another apology, another report, and nothing changes. And that is where the authorities are failing massively.